eclipse of 2026. Let's go, I guess. Okay. This is a solar eclipse, which means it's a new moon. New moons are solar eclipses. Full moons are lunar eclipses. This is peaking at 28 degrees of Aquarius. If you are a fixed sign, I keep saying that, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, or Scorpio, you're feeling the vibes. We're all feeling the vibes of the eclipse, but especially if you have personal planets in a fixed sign, especially Aquarius, between 25 to 29 degrees, you are really feeling the energy, or early mutable signs, right? 0 to 2 degrees of Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, hey Carice, and what's the other one? Gemini. Sorry. First things first, what is an eclipse? Eclipses occur on the lunar nodes of the moon. They activate the lunar nodes. The lunar nodes are points where the moon's path meets the Earth's path around the sun. So the moon's path around Earth, yes. These are points of fate, destiny, karma, right? During an eclipse, the moon passes between the sun and the Earth, casting a shadow on the Earth and blocking the sun's rays. That's what happens during a solar eclipse. Think of it as the moon eclipsing the sun, okay? The moon is going to cover the sun's surface, but not totally. That's why we are getting a ring of fire. Let's go. There are two ways an eclipse can be felt. I want to clarify this because hey, Carice, how are you? Some people say, oh, if you're not in the path of totality, you don't feel it. That's not true. If you are in the path of totality, you feel it, but also if your chart is getting activated, you feel it too. Shay, is that you? How are you? So we're obviously not in the path of totality because I think it's like over Antarctica in the Southern Ocean. I don't know. Okay. But if your chart is being activated, you're feeling it. So closer you are in proximity though, closer the impact or closer the planets are to you aspecting your natal chart. What are the vibes? Eclipses are triggers. They're culminations. They're crisis. They are shakeups and surprises. There's a turning point. Remember those cliffhangers? You guys are young, but I'm old. They would have cliffhangers on like Dynasty. And then it would be like the whole season you had to come back and see what happened. Okay. Right? That's kind of the vibes of an eclipse, right? And keep in mind that we may not have all the information right away. So this is not the best time for moving forward with things or making like, creating like ultimatums, giving somebody an ultimatum or even giving yourself an ultimatum. Wait and see what happens. Eclipses are full and new moons. They're supercharged. They're amplified. We call them on steroids, right? A solar eclipse, new beginning, right? New moon, especially if it's happening on the north node, which this one is. Aman, I really am old. I said I really am old. Thank you, though. I'll take it. All right. We have the north node of the dragon, right? That's what we're embracing. That's what we're reaching for. We're expanding. The south node, what we're swatting away, what we're shrinking, what we're kind of, letting play the background. Eclipses on the north node, that's an invitation. We need to lean into something. Eclipses on the south node, that's a letting go. That's a release. We need to let go of something. Eclipses occur in sets and pairs. We are in the spring set of, this is spring. I was about to say, we are in the spring set of eclipses. I was like, it's not spring yet, but technically this is the spring set, right? Then we have the fall set. This is occurring kind of early. So this is February, and then we have another one in March. And then the fall ones are taking place in August. But that's how we do it. Spring, fall. All right. We're going to have the solar. Then we'll have the lunar on March 3rd. Yes. Me too, friend. Welcome, gang, gang. We're the same age. Okay. The next one I feel like is the one to really watch for. The total lunar eclipse in Virgo. I feel like that's going to like wipe a lot of stuff out. I feel like this one is more... Yes, it's intense because there's a square to Uranus, but this is not as like intense as that full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo on the 3rd. The Aquarius eclipse is conjunct the north node, right? We're technically not in the north node in Aquarius and the south node in Leo yet, but this is like a snippet of the mixtape because they're so close that we're getting like that taste of what it's going to be like when the north node moves into Aquarius and the south node is in Leo. Let's see. If the moon is within 17 to 18 degrees of the lunar nodes, it's considered an eclipse. It's a very, very wide orb. So the moon is in Aquarius at 28 degrees and the north node is at 8 degrees. It's like a 10-degree orb, okay? So it's partial, right? The closer it is, the more total. Oh, I love that. Welcome to the good life. Shout out to Kanye. Or yay. I'm sorry. On the actual date of the eclipse, maybe you feel nothing. Maybe you're like, I don't feel anything. Nothing's happening for me. But you can feel it later on. The impacts are felt for up to 6 months after the lunation. Some people say longer. Some people say, especially when there's eclipses, I'm reading this book, I don't know where it is, in fixed signs, that the impact is stronger and it lasts longer because it's a fixed sign, right? So whatever happens during this eclipse, maybe you notice that it lingers. The eclipse in Aquarius, okay, I already said that, sorry. All right, yes, I said technically the nodes are still in Pisces and Virgo, but we are getting that taste of what's to come. The North node in Aquarius, when it moves into Aquarius fully next year, but this is like a sample of that, is about creating community, progress for the people, and making the world a better place, right? Through innovation and humanitarianism. How can we make our world safe and good for all of us, not just the people in power? The power needs to go to the people. The South node in Leo, oh my God, it's going to be your nodal return. Congrats, Holly. The South node in Leo is about releasing self-focused energy, okay? There is no I in team, right? It's about coming together. It's about letting go of the need for the spotlight and also letting go of like drama, Devo or diva behavior, right? Like being a Jennifer Lopez. Shout out to her because she's a Leo. That's the first person I thought of. Let's get into the astrology of this solar eclipse new moon. The ruler of the eclipse is Saturn in Aries. Saturn enters Aries tomorrow. My God, okay? So there's an I in pie. I'm dead. I never heard that. That's funny. Okay, Saturn in Aries is in fall. It doesn't necessarily thrive there. I'm not saying that it can't work, okay? What I'm saying is Saturn is slow, Aries is fast. You get the vibes. Saturn is challenged a bit in Aries. Now, that kind of like throws a little bit of a monkey wrench into this eclipse. But also, maybe you start to see with Saturn in Aries where your foundations aren't as solid and as strong as you thought, especially because we have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction 3 days later, right? Saturn and Neptune are going to meet in Aries at 0 degrees on the 20th, and they're coming together. Hey, Camille, this is a very rare cosmic event. It only happens every 36 years. It hasn't happened in Aries in forever, thousands of years, okay? This is a new synodic cycle. That's just a fancy way of saying Saturn and Neptune are meeting. The conjunction, right? That's the first phase of the cycle. The planets coming together at 0 degrees, right? Then we go around and we have what? The square, the opposition, the other, whatever. Right. Yeah, right. Okay. Sorry. Trying to think in my head. The closing square, and then we go through it again. Yes, so people are saying this is going to be really, really, really impactful. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, I do think a lot of structures are starting to dissipate in our personal lives as well as the collective. Well, really, the collective impacts our personal lives. Hey, Arden, how are you, right? So this conjunction is checking to see how solid are your structures, right? Do the rules need reshaping? What is built to last and what is going to collapse? Only time will tell, but we're going to start to see things. They're calling it like the great unraveling. That sounds kind of, crazy, but I'm saying we're reshaping wherever Aries is in your chart. You're like, why are you talking about this? Because this is very much in the background of this solar eclipse energy. All right. And this is happening at 0 degrees of the world point. So maybe we see something around this eclipse that impacts us globally. All right. Powerful shifts are happening. And maybe personally, you're letting go of some kind of societal identity because you're like, this is over, right? This no longer resonates with me. Also, Saturn rules status. Saturn, Capricorn, think about it. Like, what's your social standing in society kind of thing. It's time for new rules, new beliefs, and new creations under this energy. Okay, if you want to know more about that Saturn-Neptune conjunction, check out my Substack. I'm not going to dwell on that. Let's get back into this, but this is lingering in the background. So we're dealing with the solar eclipse as well as the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. For For this, the sun and moon are at 28 degrees, right? They're together. That's what happens at a new moon. Mars and Pluto are also in Aquarius. Mars is in a weak conjunction with the sun and moon. I wouldn't even call that conjunction. It's like 9 degrees, right? It is, I have no idea what that is coming up. Sorry. It is separating. So, but there's still like our ambition, our drive, our desires, and also our inner security. It's all coming with this Aquarius energy. So we're thinking of the future. We are feeling passionate. Something I noticed about Aquarius, and I don't care, y'all, if you don't like this, they fixate on the vision. I don't know if you ever watched Bad Blood on Hulu, but what was that chick, Elizabeth Holmes? She was so convinced that she had this product, even though the shit wasn't working, right? And now she's in prison for that. But I'm just saying, I've noticed that a lot of Aquarians can be so fixated on the vision that sometimes, you know, things start to go away, but they're still holding tight to that vision. So don't do that. And I think that's where the square to Uranus comes in, because sometimes maybe you do need to like pivot a little bit with your plan. Don't be so fixated on one way of doing it, right? Be flexible, be open-minded, be innovative and inventive like Aquarius wants you to be. And also be transformative, because Pluto is also in Aquarius. So it's like, hey, maybe there's some ways that you need to change. Maybe you are your own worst enemy because you're getting caught up in your ego or whatever. Because that is kind of like the ego wanting to be right and not wanting to pivot, not wanting to change. On a softer note, Mercury in Pisces is trine Jupiter in Cancer. I love that. Mercury is news. Jupiter is optimism. We can get some good news. We feel optimistic. Maybe we're like, I have this great idea. The impish scribe, I love that. That'll be nice for you. A trine is always nice. Also, Mercury trine Jupiter is nice for travel, connecting with friends, learning new things. We also have Venus forming a conjunction with the North Node. That's having the same day. Now, that could be a mixed bag, because sometimes the North Node is pushing us out of our comfort zone. It's saying, hey, you're stuck here. You need to grow. And maybe you don't want to grow, because do people really want to leave their comfort zone? Most of the time, no, right? They're like, I'm coasting along. But maybe the North Node is like, hey, let me push you out there. So you could meet a relationship or form a relationship that pushes you towards a higher purpose or path, Because Venus is also opposite the South Node, maybe you need to release one connection to embrace another, or maybe your values are changing, right? Maybe you're realizing that, this is no longer resonating with me. You know what? For eclipses, I go 3 degrees, but they say it's really, really potent when it's within a 1 degree orb, according to Judith Hill in this book on eclipses that I'm reading. So I'm like, let me play around with that. Because when the eclipse was right on my ascendant, it was 19 degrees Aries. My ascendant is 19. I felt it for sure. I don't know what I felt, but I felt something. Okay, the main aspect of this eclipse is Uranus and Taurus squaring the sun and moon. Uranus is rebellion, it's change, it's instability. We all might be feeling restless, right? Uranus has just finished squaring the sun. So maybe we are in some kind of power struggle with authority. Maybe it's a boss. Maybe it's our dad. I don't know. Maybe it's the government, right? But also with this whole, is it really? Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's interesting. Your Venus is in Aries? Oh, Lord. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Whenever I meet people with Venus and Aries, I'm like, oh my, hit it and quit it. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding. I think Marilyn Monroe had Venus and Aries. Yeah, she did. Okay, back to this before I start rambling. We can feel anxious, okay? So drink water, rest, relax. Maybe there's some disruption in friend groups, communities. There can also be a clash. Maybe you're like, my friends don't represent my values, right? Because Aquarius friends, Uranus and Taurus values. Or there can be some kind of money situation that pops up. I don't want that for any of us, but Uranus sometimes brings shocks and surprises to our finances. So watch for that. Also, it could just be about Aquarius wanting to lean into the future, Taurus wanting to be stuck in tradition. Even though Uranus is in Taurus, Uranus doesn't even like it in Taurus, right? So it's taking on some of those Taurian characteristics of like staying stuck or being stagnant. And maybe these old patterns are keeping you from your glow up and growth. I'm going to get into the horoscopes, and that'll be that. And then you guys, questions, concerns, no complaints. Okay, we are going to start with Aries, even though I should start with Aquarius. Aries, really? That's not bad. Uranus conjunct Jupiter is good. That can bring a windfall. Remember when Uranus was conjunct Jupiter? Everybody was thinking they were going to win the lottery. It can, but will it? All right, I'm really starting. Aries, wishes can come true for you, Ram, if you believe. I know that's right. You're gaining motion on a current goal or embracing a new aspiration during this time. Maybe you even have a viral moment on social media. There might be some friction in your friend groups as you realize that your social circles don't mesh with your values. You need platonic connections that align with your personal evolution. A new friend could be eclipsed in your life, so be open to new homies. Find your soul tribe, or at least be open to connecting with them. Aries mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I am surrounded by people who align with my dreams and interests. And so it is. Taurus, a new job or even career opportunity might manifest for you, bulls, under the eclipse energy. If you've been feeling stagnant in your current profession, the urge to break out is strong now. Hey, too lovely. Watch out for friction between you and the higher ups on your job. There may be changes to your social standing. Maybe you get married or retire. Maybe you become a doctor or a lawyer. It's a new cycle for your public image. Perhaps you decide to start a nonprofit and give back to the community. Taurus mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I attract opportunities that align with my career vision. And so it is. Gemini, book your flight, or maybe it's already booked for you, twin. You about to get flued out? No, I'm kidding. A chance to travel for school or work might be eclipsed into your life. Maybe you book a healing retreat with Uranus activating your house of rest. New beliefs are loading for you if your old truths don't align in the new world. You may meet someone from a different culture. Hey, Pink Natalie, or culture that puts you onto a new perspective. Your mind is expanding, and you may even decide to go back to school or publish your writing. Yes, Gemini mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I live in perfect freedom. I love that you guys are booking trips. Cancer, you're experiencing a healing breakthrough. Crabby, you're experiencing. It's time to move forward with without all the baggage and pain you've been lugging around. If you don't know where to begin, shadow work is a good starting point. You can always book a therapy session if you need help unpacking what you're feeling. Maybe a conflict with a friend brings a deep-rooted hurt to the surface. Taxes, shared resources, and debts may also be a theme. An investor or money owed could be eclipsed into your life. I feel like mine is too. Cancer mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I am free from my past pain. Yes, you are. Leo, a new love may appear in your life, Lion, yes, Leo is ruled by the sun, so pay attention especially to the solar eclipse. A new love may appear in your life, Lion, or you're switching up how you interact in your current relationships. You might decide to commit deeper to a romantic or business partnership. There could be some changes in your professional world that cause friction in your personal life. Maybe you realize that you've been too focused on your career and it's taken a toll on your close connections. If a relationship has run its course, you may be contemplating a breakup. Wait until Mercury is finished its retrograde and all that stuff. Leo mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. My relationships bring joy and fulfillment to my life. Virgo. Oh, really? You're a Leo rising and moon? Virgo, refresh your daily habits, Virgo. Switch up your routine so that you feel excited to wake up and face a new day. Try something different outside of your norm. You may feel restless and ready to book a trip out of the country. If you can't abandon your day-to-day life, maybe you need to ask for help, right? Get somebody else to do it. There's no shame in calling on a family member to pick up chores at home or a coworker to assist with a work project. Some assistance might improve your overall mood and well-being. Yes, Virgo, you don't have to do it all alone. Virgo mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I embrace the support of others with gratitude. Really, friend? Do you listen to, so you listen to both, Libra and Scorpio, right? Libra, get to creating, Libra. Let your imagination flow. Art is about expression, not perfection. So don't worry if it's not meeting your strict aesthetic standards. You know Libras want things to look good. If you've been thinking about picking up a new hobby, you may explore that activity now. Romance gets a boost. You've got a few options for V-Day. But you may have some healing to do before you go hunching on a new boo. Sorry, that was raunchy. No shade. Uranus transiting your house of transformation wants you to release codependency and trauma. Libra mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I am a daring and innovative creator. Period. Scorpio and the family feud, Scorpio. It's time for forgiveness when it comes to your family relationships. It's time to heal the ancestral trauma and break generational curses. Yes, it was, Carice. No, I'm kidding. It can end with you. You are the future of your lineage. If home has lost its homey feeling, it's time to spruce up your place. Let's go. Maybe you paint a wall or decide to renovate your space. You might even be thinking about moving or relocating to another city or country. Wait until Mercury is direct. Scorpio mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. Forgiveness is a gift I give myself for a brighter future. Sagittarius. Where's Tony? Sagittarius. You've got a million ideas, Saggy. Write them down because maybe you're onto something. You could invent something new under this energy or come up with the vision for your next project. The urge to learn a new skill or study a topic is strong. Maybe you feel restricted by your job and you want to put your 2 weeks in this economy. I don't know. Sorry, no shade, Saggies. There may be a change in your values that makes it harder to participate in the 3D world. Don't break up with your 9 to 5 yet. Find ways to create more freedom in your daily life. Yes, that'll help solve that. Sagittarius mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I am a vessel for original ideas. Period. Capricorn, where you at? All money ain't good money, Cap. I know that's right. You may be experiencing a major awakening and no longer feel good about how you're making money or what you're spending your money on. You might want to abandon your current profession and make art for a living. That's very un-Capricorn, right? You're ready to risk it all, which is very unlike you. Maybe your creative gifts will one day pay your bills. As the North Node transits Aquarius, you will be more willing to bet on yourself and generate new unconventional streams of income. Capricorn mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I receive abundance and success through my creative work. Yes, Capricorns, let's go. Aquarius, you're the main character, Aqua. It's a new solar year for you, so allow the universe to upgrade you. You're entering a new chapter that's transformative and full of growth. Sometimes growth is painful, that's why we have growing pains, but trust the process. Maybe you're torn between embracing all the changes that are happening in your home life and clinging to the past. You're the sign of the future. Yes, you are. Lean into the unknown. All good lies ahead. Aquarius mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I adapt and evolve with ease. Pisces, rest is a form of resistance, Pisces. Yes, you can change the world, but change starts with you. The transformation begins internally. Saturn is finally out of your sign, hallelujah, and you should be breathing a sigh of relief. But you also may feel drained from the heavy load you've been carrying for the past 2.5 years. While you may not be physically tired, your spirit might feel weary. Don't push on and end up burnt out. Disconnect from the world to heal and recover. Quiet your mind. Pisces mantra for the Aquarius solar eclipse. I am deserving of rest and relaxation to recharge my mind and body. I did it!